this evening to talk about inspiration. Friends, I'm inspired by hip-hop. Is anybody else inspired by hip-hop? Anybody else inspired by hip-hop? Why am I inspired by hip-hop? Well, hip-hop has been with me in every single stage of my life. There are some of us here, I'm one of those people that can hardly remember a time where they didn't put rhymes to beats. We were drinking hip-hop with our Similac. We were eating hip-hop with our Gerbers. Hip-hop is not just a part of us, it's part of our DNA. Does anybody feel that way? It's a part of our DNA. It's a part of who we are. One of the things I love about hip-hop is that you can arrive for the rhymes and the beats, and you can leave with a life lesson. You can leave with a life lesson if you're listening closely, and that's been my experience. Hip-hop sometimes will plant a seed in your mind, and inspired thought will grow. And it's been with me in every stage of my life. I remember when I was a boy, and one of the first seeds that was placed in my mind was a song that I heard by Run DMC. I am the king of rock. There is none higher. I am the king. And I thought, I want to be the king. I want to be the king. I want to do something that is so great that it can be seen from the moon. So high that it can't be topped. How could I do that? Well, listen to Kool Moe Dee, and he said, go to work. Go to work. And we know, you all know that anything that is great, anything that is truly inspirational, you're going to have to work for it. Am I right? Am I right? You're going to have to work for it. And metaphorically speaking, if you want to be the champion of the world, it's not just knocking dudes out in the ring, it's what you do outside of the ring. Is that right? Is that right? Is it the one-arm push-ups? Is it all the running? Is it all the sparring? We know that we're going to have to work to do something special. Hip-hop sometimes plants a seed in your head, and an inspired thought grows. I'm inspired by hip-hop. I just can't help it. I just can't help it. It's a part of my DNA. As I grew a little bit older, though, I realized that it was a little bit harder to be the king. Why? It's hard to be the king because there's competition. There's competition. There's people out there that don't want you to do well. Anybody who know those people in their life that don't want that don't want you to do well? I heard haters. Haters. They hate for a living, don't they? They hate for a living, don't they? They try to put that sweet nothing of negativity in your mind. That doubt that causes inaction. That inaction that causes inactivity. That inactivity that causes failure. They try to put that in your mind. They make you discouraged. They make you weak. And there was a point in my life where I was discouraged and I was weak because I was listening too much to haters. But then hip-hop planted another seed in my mind, and an inspired thought grew. And I heard a song by someone named Christopher Wallace, Biggie Smalls, and he says, I'd rather go toe-to-toe with all of y'all. Running ain't in my protocol. If I wanted to do something great, I might have to go toe-to-toe with everybody who's going to get in my way. Does anybody hear that? Might have to go toe-to-toe with all of y'all. Running ain't in my protocol. LL Cool J once said, if the love is real, it's got to handle competition. There's competition for anything that you want to do that's great. Hip-hop planted a seed in my mind, and inspired thought grew. I'm inspired by hip-hop. I just can't help it. I just can't help it. Now, as I matured a little bit more in life, I realized I couldn't go toe-to-toe with everybody. Toe-to-toe with everybody just leaves you bloody now, doesn't it? You're going to need some help. Like Mr. Oscar Jones said, you're going to need some people to be behind you, to be the wind beneath your wings, so to speak. You're going to need some people behind you. I spent a lot of time in my life going toe-to-toe, but I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't getting anywhere. Then hip-hop planted another seed in my mind, and an inspired thought grew. And I heard another song, this one by Fabulous and Neo, and the hook went something like this. I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. Mommy, I'm good all by myself, but baby, you make me better. If we're to do anything in life, we're going to need the right people around us, right? We're going to need people like this here in this room around us, right? Right? Because anything that is great, you're going to have to be strong-minded. And the way that you make your mind strong is you feed it well. And the people around you feed your mind, right? Anything that is to be strong has to be fed well. Just like if you're an Olympic athlete and you're eating candy bars, you're going to be an ex-Olympic athlete after a while, right? If you're a delicate flower and you're dining on Coca-Cola and darkness rather than water and sunlight, you're going to be a dead flower eventually, right? Just like if you are a fine automobile and you've got sugar in your tank, you just won't go. You have to have your mind fed well. You have to have the right people around you. Mommy, I'm good all by myself. But baby, you make me better. You make me better. Sometimes hip-hop plants a seed in our minds. An inspired thought grows. I'm inspired by hip-hop. I just can't help it. Maybe you feel the same way. Maybe hip-hop is a part of your DNA. Is that true for anybody here? Maybe hip-hop was with you when you were drinking your Similac. Maybe you were eating hip-hop with your Gerbers. Maybe hip-hop grew an inspired thought in your head, made you do something better. Inspiration is where you find it. I just happen to be inspired by hip-hop. I just can't help it, friends. Thank you.
Let me out. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just heard an awesome piece from Mr. Brian McClellan. I am Gem Avery, and we are live from Birmingham. Brian, you must have invented the English language. How did you? That was simply amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Amazing. Actually, it's probably an understatement. You got to tell us about it. What's it called? What's the name of that?
It's called Inspired by Hip Hop.
Wow.
Inspired by Hip Hop.
Wow. Pretty
and
straightforward.
it just, exactly. It just comes from my heart. Just like I said in the piece, a lot of us have been, hip hop has been a big part of our life for all of our lives.
That's true.
And no matter what we're going through, we can take something from it and make it into a positive. So that's the motivation for it.
As you said, it's in our DNA. That's all we know, especially those of us in this age group.
Exactly.
So tell us, what are you pushing right now? What's the project that's coming up? What exactly are you into right now?
Well, doing a number of different things. I'm an author, so we've got a book coming out in the second quarter called Your Mind, Your Money, Your Mission. It's about entrepreneurship.
Wow, we need that.
Absolutely.
Definitely, we need that.
Absolutely. I've got an inspirational video project that I'm working on with Mr. Robert Nunnally, Mr. Oscar Jones, called The World Is Yours.
Whoa,
and we expect that later this year as well.
We'll be watching for that. Definitely so. Definitely so.
Hot.
So, tell me, hip-hop as a metaphor.
Hip-hop as a metaphor.
Right. I'm working on my own project, a Neil Soul project entitled Gas Money. Also, it's a metaphor. It, it seems kind of obvious, but who would have ever thought? So hip-hop as a metaphor, you take these titles and you apply them to our lives.
Absolutely.
What exactly inspires you? Who inspires you? Any shout-outs you want to give, or,
Well, it's so varied. Obviously, I'm inspired all the time by my family.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've got two little ones at home. My wife, they're very supportive. They're 4 and 2 years old, my children, and very inspired by them. Artist-wise, I mentioned a lot of them. Run DMC is an inspiration for me. LL, Biggie, they're inspirations for me. Business people are inspirations for me as well. Also very active in the political process right now. Barack Obama is a big inspiration for me.
Wow, yeah, give it up. That's right.
He's saying that inspires quite a few of us. Some of us would never thought we would see this day. Never thought we would see this day where it's even realistic, but it is, and he's an inspiration to me as well. A number of inspirations.
Wow, that's pretty touching. Okay, at Live From, we try to celebrate art and our artists, and we celebrate you and the thing that you do and the way that you touch the world. Let us know, is this something you do full time? Do you have a day job? Did you have to call in to be here? Because millions of people are going to be looking at this broadcast, and we don't want your boss to look at it and say he told me he was sick. So,
Fortunately, actually, I work for a pretty good boss. He is me. I graduated from corporate America about 18 months ago and started a publishing company.
Yeah, give it up for that. Give it up for that. Nothing like working for you. That's right.
Started a speaking company, publishing company. Actually, I publish books under the title Sharian Publishing as well. So anybody who's got inspirational, self-help, any type of book that helps someone do something better, I'm interested in speaking to you. So
Definitely.
Whoever, all you writers out there, please talk to me.
Definitely so. You guys get at Brian. Because, I mean, I think inspire is, like I said, that's an understatement. I feel inspired. Makes me feel like I want to go up there and run with Barack Obama.
All right.
After hearing that. I mean, so, in closing, who do you want to thank other than your family? Is there anybody who
Well, always I want to thank the family.
Definitely.
One of my family, they're the reason that I do this.
Right.
I want to thank Oscar and Live From and Raw
Definitely,
for
definitely.
bringing this together. This is a fantastic thing.
Yes, it is. It is. We're thankful for it.
And I'd also like to thank all the people that have supported me along the way. You know, we do this art thing because with the feedback that we get from people like you. So I want to thank anybody who's supportive of inspiration, who's supportive of the things that I try to say, write, and do. I appreciate that as well.
Definitely. And Brian McClellan, we thank you.
All right.
Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Brian McClellan. Check us out at www.live-from.net. You can also check the MySpace. Hit us up on MySpace. Everybody's on there. Don't play. www.myspace.com/4livefrom. MySpace.com/4livefrom. Ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. Hang around for Loyd Watson Jr., our sax therapist who's on for tonight. He is a native of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He is a virtuoso on that saxophone, and I hope you guys went to the bathroom because he is capable of making you wet yourself. Hang tight. Mr. Brian McClellan. Give it up for Brian one more time, guys. Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Loyd Watson Jr. on the saxophone. Yes. Yes. Wow. I'm speechless. I mean, tell us something about that. What exactly was it? Where did you take us?
That particular song is off my first CD, produced by Mr. Sam Addams in the house.
Okay.
CD is titled Multiple Personality, and that song was titled Let Me Holla At You. I wrote that for a young lady friend of mine, very beautiful young lady, and she would come talk to me and say, Lord, I'm so sick of all these guys talking about, let me holla at you, let me holla at you. So, me, I said, well, I tell you what, I want to write a song for you.
We do understand, don't we, ladies? We understand that, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I got that together, I called them and said, hey, I got a song, it's titled Let Me Holla At You.
Wow.
And the rest is history. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And I happen to have a copy of the CD here. This is Mr. Loyd Watson Jr.'s first project, Multiple Personality.
That's right.
And it's got 12 tracks on them. And if we're going to be experiencing that for 12 tracks, woo, wow. Yeah, hold on to that. What else you got going?
Have a lot of things going on. Like I said, this is my first CD. I also released a Christmas CD last Christmas.
Wow.
And before that, before that, I released my second project, which I'm going to do one song off of that one as we leave, and that one was really inspired by by hip hop.
Wow.
Now, being a jazz musician, if you do the history of jazz, we're really one of the same. Those guys back in the day were musicians that wanted to break away from the norm and do their thing. So
right.
It's really nothing different from what y'all are doing right now. We do it with chord changes and melodies and lyrics. I mean, not lyrics, sometimes lyrics, but you guys do it with break beats and rhymes and whatever else. Right. So it's really one of the same.
Right. And pretty much we're like that with most music. Most of it comes from basically the same source. Yeah. We got gospel, jazz, hip hop. I do neo soul. We've got all of it is pretty much the same thing. Chord changes and melodies and harmonies and all this good stuff. This is a copy of the second project entitled By Way of Loyd Watson Jr.
That's right.
This is a pretty eye-catching photo here, Mr. Watson.
Hey, I do what I can when I can.
I know. We've also got a poster. So if you need a life-size image almost of Mr. Watson to put on your wall as you eat your breakfast in the morning, he can be all yours. He can be all yours. Okay, that's the current project. Tell us a little bit something about you. What inspires you? Who inspires you? What musical influences do you have?
How much time do we have?
Oh my gracious, not much.
Really, I'm influenced by life and people. Again, I'm trained in classical music, I'm trained in jazz, I'm trained in a lot of different stuff. Right. But really, you just pay attention to what's going on around you. You write about that, you play about how you feel at a particular time. And as far as music inspiration, come on, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Grover Washington,
yeah, give it up, yes.
The Overheads, Count Basie, Duke Ellington, all those guys.
Definitely. Okay. Oh, well, on Live From, as I mentioned with Mr. McClellan, we celebrate art and artists. Do you support yourself full time with your art?
Not yet. I'm getting to that point, slowly but surely. Because again, you have to realize, doing jazz at this day and age, it's like, whoa, so we have to do what we have to do to make it work. It costs a lot of money to do this, so unfortunately, I'm still working a 9-to-5 or 6-to-3 in my case. But,
okay.
But I thank God for it. It's paying the bills, and it's getting me out here now. It allowed me to do this, so eventually, yeah, full time. That's right.
That's right. Give it up. Entrepreneurship is abound. Yes, it is. Again, this is the poster of Mr. Loyd Watson Jr. In summary, do you have any shout-outs or who do you want to say hi to? Who kind of makes you tick? When you get up in the morning, when you grab that saxophone and you're warming up, who do you think about?
Well, being truthful, I think about the man who gave it to me, the big man upstairs,
Yes. Man, homage where homage is due. That's right.
So I have to give a shout out to Sam Addams. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people know him as a hip hop guy, but me and this guy grew up together. We played in bands together. Y'all should have saw how he got them lips on the trumpet mouthpiece. But
so from Tuscaloosa also, right?
Tuscaloosa.
Right. Okay.
Big shout out to Oscar for having me here. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay.
And thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for giving me your time.
That's right. All right. And Live From, we do celebrate dreams and dreamers. You fall into that category. Most of us in this room do. What we want to do is direct you to our website, www.live-from.net. Or go by the MySpace, www.myspace.com. The number 4, live from. Stick around. We have live from Raw. We want to give thanks again to Oscar, Mr. Oscar Jones, to Bonebreaker Studios. We want to give thanks to both our guests, Mr. Loyd Watson Jr. We want to thank Mr. Brian McClellan. And, oh yes, tell us your website. Do you have a MySpace? Or?
I have a MySpace page. It's Loyd Watson Jr. You can also go to my web page, which is LoydWatsonJr.com.
Okay. Before we cut to live from Raw, we are going to hear one more selection from Mr. Loyd Watson Jr. He's going to be performing. He's going to be performing an original piece off of his second album entitled By Way Of. This is track number 3 entitled And There's You. And this is a tribute to Jay Dilla.
That's right.
Right. Okay. Take us away, Mr. Watson.
Yeah.